everyone, you're listening to the Lazy Gal podcast, and this is your host, Sejal Ganate. So I know I haven't talked to you guys since May, but here I am today in August, and because it's a new month, and technically it's fall, I literally don't care if it's September, I believe it's fall. So this is like a new me. So I recently hit 100 plays, and I just wanted to introduce myself to someone who does not follow me on my social media or is just a new person to my Lazy Gal like world. So I'm a current senior in high school right now. Literally my first day of school is tomorrow as a senior. Waking up at like 3:30 for senior sunrise. I'm not happy. And I have a blog and I have a podcast which you are currently listening to right now. I am a computer science major, future major student, and my top 3 artists right now are Mitski, Taylor Swift, and like I've been listening to a lot more rap, so like 21 Savage, Weekend, Metro Booming. My favorite shows are probably Gilmore Girls, Good Omens. I literally watched season 2, like all of it today, so that's probably why it's in my top. And I really like the movie Murder Mystery with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. So if you're on my Instagram, you'll already get the drift in all of this because I think I posted like a post. I literally did a post on my favorite artist in July. So it's kind of like an intro about myself. I literally don't know what else to say, but so the reason why I haven't like actually been live since May is because the month of June I was traveling. I went to Greece and India. I ate a lot of good food and I visited a lot of beaches and really loved the teal turquoise kind of feel of all the beaches. And I spent a lot of time seeing family, especially people who I haven't seen in a really long time. So this was a really good um, trip. Yeah, so that's kind of, I don't want to talk too much about my trip because I'm not the biggest fan of podcast introductions if I like haven't been listening to that person for a while, so I'm gonna like speed it up. So the last thing before we actually get into the episode is kind of what I'm looking forward to and like what I'm really enjoying on my life right now. Just because I always say to like practice gratitude or just like reflecting. And that's kind of what I'm gonna talk about in this episode as well, about like vision boards. But like right now I have been using the Nike Run Club and I've been like really starting to get into my runs. I got sick this week, like I was literally sick in like the last episode, but I got sick again, so I haven't been like consistent with my runs, and that's like really what I hate about being sick or kind of having like a low period is because you just feel so unproductive. And I tried to go on walks and stuff, and I have, but it's just like not the same. And then when you try again, you just don't feel like in it. And usually the worst part about like getting sick compared to like, for example, your period or something is because you don't really know what's gonna happen. So when it does, you could be like in the middle of like one of your best runs. And like the worst part is it's like if you get sick and then right after you have some excursion, like you have your period, whatever. So like you kind of just ruin like, not like ruin, but you kind of just like set back your progress 2 weeks. And that's like really like not encouraging, especially when it's getting colder now. So trying to set a routine, especially to go when it's getting colder or windier, or you're just getting busier and your house is just warmer, it's a lot more harder than it was before. So that's kind of what I hate about that. What I'm looking forward to is releasing more content and working with more people, and also just like taking things more slowly. Something I want to start doing in these episodes is talk slowly. Like I'm gonna try tell myself to talk slowly. If you're someone who would rather enjoy listening to a faster version where I literally talk like this, and I doubt you can actually understand me, and I can only understand myself right now, but like I'm literally like, you know what I'm saying, like this is like how I normally talk, so I have to pull myself back and tell myself to take it slow and really take some time before the words, because even I don't really realize how fast I'm talking. So when I do, it's kind of just like no one, like I just don't know. Anyways, let's get into the actual episode of why you shouldn't create vision boards too early. Just to note that if you like to make your vision boards ahead of time or you don't agree with something I say, that's completely fine. These are my thoughts and opinions, and you can always send yours in the Q&A or comment on my Instagram posts or send me a DM about it. I always love talking about things like this, so like please don't get like offended. Like this is not that deep. So the first like reason is that you mess up the chance to like actually live out your life, if that makes sense. Like the idea of a vision board is to get your ass on track. Don't let it derail you from your goals. So for example, like you just are so in depth, like you just want a whole like board, and that kind of like always, not always, but usually leads to like some perfectionism. So let's say that you want to do something, but it's not exactly the way that you saw it visually. You don't want to do it anymore, if that makes sense. Like you want to start a new business, but on your Pinterest board, you have all of these like really successful, really like glamorized parts of it. But when you realize like you're not achieving that, you just get a little bit more disencouraged. So don't let it derail you from your actual goals by trying to be so perfect. The second reason is you're too busy making something in the future happen that nothing in the present works. So, for example, I created a summer vision board because I had a lot of goals and aspirations this summer and just things I wanted to do. And I strongly believe that telling what you want to the universe helps you. So, I just had traveling, the beach, good food, running, eating healthier, drinking water, hanging with friends, drinking matcha, etc. And let me tell you, all of this has come true so far. So it's like, oh my God, like save for my junior year vision board because when I scrolled through it at the end of the year, I was genuinely so amazed. But anyways, I wanted to create a senior year one, but then I realized I'm so occupied with things that are so out of my control and my energy is being wasted on all of these different things because if you want to accomplish something, your energy and mindset needs to be set on that. Because like if you're so worried about what's happening in the future and you're like, no, I want this and this and this, what about like the short-term goals that help you achieve the long-term goals? So if you're thinking of creating a vision board, you absolutely should, but make sure that you're not like batch creating them. Because the point of something like a vision board is to reflect. Reflect on what you've done, what you've not done, what you want to do. This all takes time in a certain state of mind where you're focused on something and you have a clear direction on how to do it. This gets clouded when you are constantly creating new perspectives or versions. Of course, you can add new images to your vision board, but the purpose of creating a new vision board is because this one is reaching a different goal or spans past that old one. Let me explain. You have a vision board on finances and a separate one on health. Those are two different goals. They can even be folders under a bigger, let's say 2023 vision board, for example. So, they're just different goals, and it would be kind of weird if you had like, not weird, like you could still do it, but let's say that this is like a really big goal for you and you want to put a lot of energy in improving your finances and spending better or improving your health. Those are like your two big goals, and then so you want them separate and you want to focus on those what at with the best mindset that you have. So let's say another example is you have an upcoming school year, but you already have a 2023 vision board. You should create one for the upcoming school year just because it will go past 2023 and into the next year. No school year is really like from January to December. It's like August, September to like May, June. So this one makes sense as to why you create a new one because if you make a school board, you're more likely to be academic or just have more of a specific sense than really a whole yearly board. And there's gonna go for anything. Like let's say you have a more specific time frame where the conditions are different. For me, I'm equally busy fall, spring, winter, but in the summer I have more time and different commitments, which is why I created a vision board separately for the summer of 2023. So I hope this makes sense, and if you have like any questions, you can always DM me or in like the Q&A for Spotify, it'll be like, what are your questions on this? And I will be happy to answer them. So just let me know. Again, my Instagram is at @the_lazygal. So when is the right time to make a new vision board? That is like up to you, of course, but here is my 2 cents. If you have a vision board for a shorter time period, for example, summer, finals, internships, etc., then you should wait till you have completely lived out and reflected on that time frame, then start a new one. Like, for example, if you have a vision board for summer like I did, wait until it's like literally like the last 2 days of summer break or just like the season or like just your time frame that you have for summer and then start a new one. Like an example for this is you have one for 2023, but you also want to create another one because you are moving somewhere, a new state, country, maybe even continent, and you want a vision board for that. You can always create that whenever because most of your goals are still not the same. You're not really confusing yourself on what you want to accomplish, and also like I mentioned previously, you might still be living in like the place well past 2023, so it would make sense to have another board versus like something that is like, what's that called? Something that is chronological. So summer, school, for example, finals, whatever, like you're going back to back. But if you have something that's overlapping, then you'd probably create a new one. Another reason to not create a vision board too early is because you don't completely really know what you're visioning. So I know creating vision boards are fun, and sometimes we tend to go a little bit overboard with adding every good habit under the sun and also some like really unrealistic images. For example, if you have a vision board for a new year, specifically for, let's say, health and fitness goals, it's extremely unrealistic to have images of models or people with edited photos or fad diets or just pictures that add unnecessary pressure on you. Will lead to a lot more negative effects than if you literally did not have that vision board. So the purpose of a vision board is to help you and benefit you. You use it to your advantage. Don't make it your enemy. So the more specific your goals, the more likely you are to accomplish them. So with a vision board, even if you have a few goals, be specific. For example, last year for my junior year board, I had a couple of goals. Getting all A's, which I did. On both my semester report cards, I got all A's. Going out with more friends, and I did. I used to go out with my friends because she could drive, and we'd go out for dinner. We'd hang out. Like, I had good friends in my classes too. Making money. I tutored that summer. I tutored that year, and I actually made, I think, more than $200, $300. Coding more. So I did, like, commit to that, but I didn't as much as I wanted to. So if there's something that you kind of want more of, you have to set a specific goal. And I'll actually be talking about that in my blog post next week, which is how to transform your academic, like how to upgrade your academic goals from weak to high impact. And like these can be for any goals, but let's say for coding, like you wanted to code more. Of course, that is so vague, like code more could be anything. But let's say now that you code twice a month at like that's your kind of like thing, but you want to do 4 times or like 6 times a month or like twice a week, whatever. A way to change that into a high impact goal is instead of going code more or code every 2 days, like code twice a month, be like on Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. I'm going to watch this video and like put it in your calendar. Treat it like it's an actual meeting or a class that you're paying for because you're more likely to show up. And I know, of course, it's hard when you don't have the like first discipline, so that's why you should be a little bit more lenient and also start slow. So if you are doing only 2 times a month, amp it up to 3 times or 4 times, and then move on from there to your final goal of 2 times a week or like 8 times a month. If that makes sense. So, and another one like of my goals was being on track with my workouts, and I did. I actually worked out like once in the morning for like a couple of weeks, and I just worked out every day, and I was really glad that that happened. And I worked out I worked out regularly, and I'm just glad that I had the motivation to do that. And I accomplished like all of that. And the reason for that is because I knew what I wanted and it helped create a plan on what to do next. So if you're really struggling with this, like I said, my next blog post will really like clear any doubts and stuff like that. So just follow me on Instagram at @the_lazygal or like Twitter, same handle, and you will get notifications or like you'll know about the blog post. So if you don't have specific goals and you're just adding things willy-nilly, you're less likely to benefit from vision board. So when I like wrote the outline for this post, I didn't have my senior vision board because I wrote this like last week and it was still like my summer kind of board. So I just wanted to go over a couple of my like Pinterest board. I just wanted to do it in real time just so I can kind of go through it. So if I'm like stuttering kind of, it's just because of this. So for my summer board, let me find it. Okay, it's right here. So I had one different for July, and I feel like this is a good time to talk about it because in June I had a completely different time and commitment. Like in Greece and India, of course, I couldn't focus so much on working out or really like studying or like just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't focus as much on that and like academic stuff because I was traveling and I was with family, going out all the time. So for July, I had like pictures of money and healthy food ideas and like face masks and just hanging out on this an idea of like a fun time for me. And overall, I had like skincare pictures, like like those collages they have on Pinterest. And I like to add stuff that I know is gonna happen just to improve it more likely, and just to give me more of a encouragement that my vision board is working. Like, I have pictures of colored hair. I have pictures of like running and like eating ice cream and going out kind of thing and having Starbucks. I had Starbucks more this month than I had, like, my parents bought me more this month than they bought me like in my whole life. Okay, so 50% off Wednesday works, but so does my Pinterest vision board. So I don't know if you believe that, but I do. Anyways, for senior year, I have like 200 pins already. I was just going crazy. I have like healthy food and like good teeth. Don't ask, that's like the first thing. But like, I also have like, you know, those Twitter ones that are like, say with me, the universe will bless me beyond what I'm manifesting, or I'm gonna be 20 times better 6 months from now. So I just have like kind of quotes like this, and like aesthetic photos and just stuff that I'm looking forward to experiencing this year. And I also hope to experience, or just like, it doesn't have to be like, of course I have like pictures of money that says like $37 million. Like, there's a very low chance that I'll ever like have that happen to me senior year, but it's giving me something a goal to shoot for, like something to look at and be like, oh, I remember why I started and what I'm going for. And like I said earlier, that is the point of a vision board, which is like reflect on what you've done, what you've not done, and what you want to do. And this, I didn't really talk about reflecting yet, so I just want to go over that right now. Like, reflecting over your vision board is like going through it not only at the end of the time frame, but continuously. Like, sometimes I really don't feel like disciplined, I go on Pinterest and I open my board. I'm like, okay, what was motivated me trying to think? Like, what was she thinking? What was her motivation? Like, what was her mindset? And I was like, okay, so I wanted to make money. I have scheduled my tutoring sessions. I wanted to go for a run. I went for one yesterday. Maybe I can lift weights today, or I can make sure I plan mine tomorrow and set my clothes out. I wanted to code more. So maybe instead of just, sleeping on my bed the whole day, I could get up and watch a video and take notes. Stuff like that really helps me go in that mindset and really just pushes me to do something that I probably wouldn't have done if I just stayed in bed and didn't do anything. And the good thing about Pinterest compared to like other social media for me is that I don't really get as distracted. Like, if I open TikTok and I just wanted to search up like healthy dinner recipes or curling hair, whatever routine, I usually get like caught with the other videos and I realize, oh my god, I've been watching TikTok for like an hour now and I just didn't do what I wanted to do. But with Pinterest, I'm like, it's not like hard for me to like go where I wanted to and exit out. And same thing kind of with Instagram now is that I'm like actually like watching Instagram reels. I don't know when and how. Like, before I never used to, but now I do. So God knows. Anyways, but reflect through it by like going through it, and even at the end of a time frame, like if you want to, you can journal about it, write down your plans and see which ones work. And like, you don't really have to, if you don't like writing stuff out because your thoughts are faster, you just don't like your hand hurting, don't even ask. Like, if this is you, something I find helpful, I think I mentioned in a past episode, is like film yourself, or like you don't have to press the like the record button. You can just have like your phone up in the camera mode, or you can film yourself and then delete it right after, like up to you. But you can just talk like, this is what I want to do in my vision board, blah blah blah, pretend you're hosting a podcast like me, blah blah blah, and that's how you do it. So these are my top tips in this episode. Number 1, the like reasons to not create a vision board too early is that you must have the chance to like actually live out your life. Number 2, you're too busy making something in the future happen that nothing in the present works. Number 3, I shared my opinion on the right time to create a vision board. And number 4, another reason to not create a vision board too early is because you don't know completely what you're visioning. Like, you are just so like, you just want to be perfect, like perfectionism. Like, you want to achieve that, but you also don't know what you're achieving, so you're kind of losing both sides. So I just want to talk about what the next episodes and posts will be like. I'm trying to be a lot more active on Instagram, like looking at trending audio and like thinking about posts to publish. I will also be having a back to school series like this month and next. I'm gonna spread it out so I'm not like continuously bored. I'm gonna release more more blog posts on my like actual, like my blog. So if you follow my Instagram, you can just follow my blog directly. And then all my like social links are always linked in the, what's that called? The thing below. The note, the pod, whatever it's called, I forgot. It's there. So I also have some guest posts coming. I'm gonna follow up with them and see when we can plan and publish some. So I'm excited to talk with others, and I'll probably have like on Instagram you can post like series highlights kind of thing. So I'll probably have that there. Other than that, nothing much really happening. I got school tomorrow, first day. I have a cute outfit. And I am taking a statistics course at the college, and that's ending tomorrow as well. My final is due. Hopefully, I get that A. I have my backpack set. I was gonna do a cute like backpack haul, like what's in my backpack on Instagram. Let's see if I actually do it, if it's gonna be like in October. And I'm like, oh my god, I got new jewelry too. So if you are on my Instagram, you know about that. And I ordered more stuff from Loop Coop Shop, so be ready for more posts coming soon. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is me signing off, which is literally pressing the stop button.